and I got a new co-host, Softly Spoken. Welcome, Softly
Hey,
Spoken
how are
Therapy
you?
Lounge. Oh, I'm doing well. First of all,
Thank you for having me.
absolutely. To all my new listeners, this is my new co-host, Softly Spoken, and we're going to be, talking about discussions, great topics, great conversations, and a lot of important stuff that our listeners will be very interested in listening to. But I'm definitely excited for having my new co-host, Softly Spoken. You can always join us every Monday at 10 p.m. And I'm so excited about having her on. And welcome again.
Thank you. I'm excited about being here. Hey, guys out there. This has been a
Yeah,
long time coming.
it's been a long time coming, and I finally got my co-host. She's definitely was the one that I was looking forward to, coming on board with me, and I'm excited about it. And if this is y'all guys' first time listening, thank you so much for making on time to your session. We want to definitely give y'all guys a therapeutic treatment, and if this is your first time, make sure you follow us at Social Therapy IG on Instagram and follow us at Social Therapy number one on Twitter. Now, tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about coping with depression. Talking about,
Yes.
yeah. So we know a lot of people, deal with that issue, softly spoken, and what you think about that coping with depressions? Like, what do you think that is would be definitely be helpful to the listeners when it's dealing with coping with depressions?
Depression is huge right now, especially with everybody being locked down on COVID. And kind of what I found is, and I'm speaking just from personal experience, when you're going through a depression, you don't realize that you're in the depression until you're deep in it. And it's just you wake up one day and it's like, oh shit, I'm in a depression. You know, it's that feeling of hopelessness and isolation and loneliness. And, it's like the world just doesn't make sense to you anymore. And people think that it's as easy as snapping out of it, and it's you've been through it, you don't understand the depths of it.
Right. That is so true. Sometimes people feel as though they feel like they feel hopeless. They feel like they
Mhm.
can't solve the problem. They feel like their life is over for them.
Right.
And yeah, it's not necessarily mean that your life is over. It means that you just gotta find a way to get out of that depression. Find a way to a solution that will help you get back on your feet. You know,
Right.
um, and surrounding yourself with positive people.
Right.
And yeah. So to our listeners, we know everybody deals with depression on so many different levels. Softly spoken. So
Absolutely.
really do. So what would your advice to be? I actually have a listener, Anita. She had sent me a message today. She wanted us to
Mhm.
know what should she do when dealing overcoming situations where there's friends that she feels as though that is not really supportive to her what she's trying to do. And she wants to know from us, should she leave her friends alone, or do she feel as though she should move on and not surround herself with people that's not going to inspire her? What would you say about that, softly spoken?
For me, we friends are friends in our lives for a reason. And so
Hmm.
I don't necessarily believe you should just cut everybody off, but understand that
Right.
people fit in different places in your life. And when you are going through that, it, for me, you have to find those people who are going to support you, who are going to understand you, because you don't need somebody to tear you down even more when you're already down. Sometimes
Right.
we just need people to say to us, how can I support you? Don't with you have the idea or the solution. Allow me to tell you what I need from you in my life as my friend. when we show up thinking we have the answers, that's ego talking.
Right.
And so we got to let that ego go. Um, but no, I don't necessarily think you should cut all your friends off. Sometimes you just may need to explain things to people in a different way so that they understand. And again, you have to explain to them how they can support you. What do you think?
I agree with you. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, if you have some friends, like, okay, they may not they may not share the same ideas that you're sharing. They might be, they probably
Mm-hmm.
taking a different journey than you taking. I'll just say, just sometimes just
Right.
sit down with your friend and explain to her, or explain to him or her that this is what I'm doing. I wanted to get your opinion on this, and I really would love for you to support me in this situation. It could be inspiration. It can be far as upliftment. You can uplift each other. Well,
Right.
whatever y'all might be going through. So, like you said before,
Right.
never don't cut your friends off, Anita. Don't cut your friends off. Just sometimes sit down with your friends. Sometimes you can reconcile differences by just sitting down and talking to your friends and trying to find out what's your dislikes and what your likes, or as far as what are you trying to do, and maybe just sit down and talk first, because sometimes we feel a certain way and we don't sit and really and ask that person, sit and have a talk with your friend, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that's how you can solve the problem.
Right. And too many times too, Anita, sometimes we have to sit with ourselves because we're not used to being asked, how can I support you? Or in terms of, telling people how to support us. So I think sometimes we have to sit in quiet and figure out what is it that we need and how do we need people to show up in our lives for us.
Right.
Because again, we're not taught that. It's something we have to learn along the way. Because sometimes you might need to tell your friends, right now, I just need a moment,
Mm-hmm.
and have them respect that. But, and as we've talked before, I think depression is an opportunity for us to get to know ourselves better, what we like and what we don't like.
That is so true. It's like being in tune with yourself. Because like I said, a lot of people don't share the ideas that you share, or as far as your activities, what you like and what they may not like. So everybody's different
Right.
when it comes to that. And sometimes they may feel like Nina feels like she's being neglected from her friends, or not being supportive. But what we want to say to you, Anita, just basically have a talk with your friends. Have a talk with your
Right.
friends, and just basically just it doesn't mean that they don't support you. It's just sometimes you have to have a talk, because everybody go through something. And I know, she was saying that it depresses her because she feels though she don't have that love and support. But it's important for you to express your feelings to your friends. And you sit down and you have that
Right.
talk, that long talk, and I think will
Mm-hmm.
be resolved after that. When you have that long talk, y'all will have a better understanding. Now, if it comes to the point where um they don't want to support you on what you're doing, or you're not, they're not calling you, or they're not spending time with you as friends, when y'all have time to spend time as friends and go places, then maybe that's may not be the friend that you want to surround yourself around. You know, you
Right.
you want people that's going to be positive, and not necessarily like softly spoken said earlier. Don't cut them off, but have that talk. Um, if they
Mm-hmm.
if they're showing you a negative energy, then you might have to kind of distance yourself a little bit, and you kind of got to see where
Right.
y'all guys fit in there, because if it continues, then maybe that's not that friend. Maybe it's time to move on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
we are all worthy of peace in our lives. And we don't have to accept toxic behavior from anyone. And
Right.
that's including family. The only person we're obligated to is ourselves. And that's where self love comes in. We
Absolutely.
only owe ourselves. And I remember my ex used to say all the time, there's no bunk beds in coffins. At the end of the day, when we cross over, it's just us.
That's so true. You was
Yeah.
you came you was born. alone and you leave alone. You know, you came out the womb by yourself and you're gonna leave by yourself, you know. If I could say that though.
Absolutely.
But the whole thing is, when we say cope with depression, there's so many different ways. People go through so much, whether it's like the COVID-19 now, or a loss of jobs, or relationships, or family. You just softly spoken. You brought up a good point about family. That seems to be a that
Mm-hmm.
seems to be very that seems to be a very issue when it comes to depression, when it comes to family. Um,
Right.
have you experienced anything like that, far as family or friends that have experienced stuff like that, far as coping with depression, with far as like family is not close with that individual or that person? Have you know anyone that have experienced a situation like that?
Not necessarily, but today I was having a conversation with my girlfriend and I was saying that the your friends are those
Mm-hmm.
people that you choose to have in your life.
Right.
It's family is who we're born into. And so we have a feeling a certain obligation. But at the end of the day, it's our friends that know us the best, usually, not necessarily our family. And we feel this undying loyalty, and we feel like we're supposed to keep showing up for family that's toxic for us.
Right.
Um, and that's not fair to us.
Great point.
And unfortunately, that can spiral us in another direction because we feel this undying loyalty.
That
What do
that
you think?
that is so true. It's just it comes to, like, far as if you have like your cousins or your brothers and sisters, and people always feel loyal, and sometimes everybody doesn't have that loyalty when it comes in family. Sometimes
Right.
it's a disconnected,
Hmm.
it's just like if a person feel as though, okay, this is my cousin, this is my brother or sister or my uncle. Sometimes we deal with different personalities in a family,
Hmm.
and sometimes when you notice, when you're dealing with that, sometimes it's it's not always going to be people is not always going to agree with everything. Your family is going to be your family, and sometimes you just got to love them from a distance if there's issues, because some people, your family can be toxin too.
Right.
Family can be toxin, and it all depends on where they 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 balance as far as their spiritual outlook, on far as dealing with on a positive plane, like far as being like, okay, this is who I know. If this is my cousin, or they're gonna look out for me. I'm gonna have a place to lay
Hmm.
my head. This is my family. I'm your family. I need a place to lay my head, or I need a
Right.
couple of dollars and stuff like that. Sometimes they kind of abuse that. As far as family, they abuse that. They feel as though they are obligated to supposed to get something out of your family member or something like that.
Right.
But
So,
but
let me
so
ask you
there's
this.
go
Go ahead. I'm
sure.
sorry.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead, softly spoken.
How do you recognize when somebody's toxic, though? Because again,
That's a
this isn't
great
something
point
that we've
there.
been taught.
Yes, yes. I think a behavior, if a constant behavior, whether it's basically like not respecting who you are, or
Hmm.
it could be like, it could be negative, he say she say,
Hmm.
starting trouble, whether it's
Absolutely.
family or friends. Yeah, yeah, or he say she say,
Hmm.
and it oftentimes it cause conflicts.
Right.
But you can kind of sense it if a person show you.
Hmm.
So you saying, like, if a person, how would you know if that person toxin if they don't show you that?
Right. Like,
Is that what?
yeah. How would you recognize that it's toxicity in that relationship?
Mm, that's a great point that you just brought up. I think if a person constantly shows a negative energy, or they kind of show, you can kind of sense it, as far as the behavior, or far as
Hmm.
the how you say, far as the reaction. If you see something constantly keep happening, then you know
Mm-hmm.
that that person is not to be around you.
Right. They're not on your
It can be
level.
to be a they're not on your level. It can they can bring you down.
Right.
You know,
I
definitely.
like for me, it's like pay attention to your body. So if you feel drained after you've talked to them or you've been around them, if you feel
Hmm.
confused after you've been around them, that's not a good energy. Because they haven't left you
Right.
inspired and uplifted. They've actually almost like a vampire energy that they just suck the life out of
Mm,
you.
right.
That's kind of my take
Right.
on how to
Yes.
recognize if somebody's toxic. I don't feel good when I'm around you.
Right. You get a bad vibe.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. So that brings me to something else about medication.
Hmm.
Softly spoken, medication. Do you think medication can help a person that's dealing with uh different levels of depression? What's your take on it? But versus natural herbs. Do you think medication or natural herbs, what you think would be the best remedy for a person that's dealing with depression?
I think that because this is a sticky subject, so I think that each person has to find
Very sticky.
their way. I know people who benefit
Hmm.
greatly from medication, over the counter medication, but they've actually found a good therapist in conjunction with the medication. Um, I found people that medical marijuana helps them. I think that you have to
Right.
find what work. I think if you're going to do medication, it has to be in conjunction. This is again my opinion with a good therapist who's also going to
I
support
agree.
you in helping you to get out of the depression, not just give you meds and think that it's going to be okay and it's going to solve everything.
Right. Right. Because it's not an overnight. It's not gonna you're not gonna be healed
No.
overnight. It's steps, it's levels and it's steps to when you're dealing with depression.
Hmm.
Um, we know there's a lot of people. There's a high statistic on suicide or wanting to commit suicide,
Right.
especially in the especially in the black and brown. I mean, anybody can be any community that deals with the bullying or far as suicide.
Hmm.
So that seems to be another serious discussion right there, another serious issue that's plaguing right now, and it's all ages. It's young teenagers or older adults.
Hmm.
A lot of people deal with this. So my thing is when people dealing with the attempting trying to commit suicide, I say that the life your life is precious.
Hmm.
Your life is not over. To my listeners that's listening right now, your life is not over. When you're dealing with the cope with depression, when you're dealing with suicide, you want to take your life, you feel as though your life is over. I say that look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that you can make it. You can
Absolutely.
make it, and your life is not over. And I think what you need to do is when you feeling like your life is over, you need to sit down, humble yourself, meditate, um, just talk to someone like softly spoke to earlier, saying get a therapist or speak to someone that you can talk to that can sit down and listen to you. And I think that's what happens to a lot of people. They feel like there's no one to listen to. They feel ashamed, softly
Absolutely.
spoken. They feel like there's no one to talk to. They feel like that they're ashamed that if they tell someone they're gonna look down on them or they're gonna kind of criticize them. And that's really not the case because you have great people that will
Right.
listen.
And that fear of
Yes,
being vulnerable, like I listened to Brene Brown where she talks about daring great
yes,
and being vulnerable. putting yourself in a position to be vulnerable to say, I need help is hard, especially in a world that we're in today when it seems like there's so much chaos and confusion and not a lot of positivity around us. It is hard to reach out to somebody to say, I need help. But like you said, when you sit in meditation and you make your intentions known to the universe, the right person will come along at the right time. But because there's always hope,
Yes.
always, always.
Yes, it is. Always hope. So listeners, that's very important. Is always hope. Don't give up. If you feel as though if you lost your job or you feel like there's no way, just basically just reach out to positive people that have that's doing something positive, whether it's in a different whether it's they in the professional field,
Mhm.
um, that can inspire you.
Right.
And I think once each one teach one, when we start reaching out to people, we'd be surprised who you can touch.
Absolutely.
When you can touch someone, you speak to someone that you listen to them, and you give them words of wisdom. You be surprised who you can help.
Right. And
Even if you help one
one
person.
person and that person goes and helps someone else. It's knowing that you are not alone in this situation that you're in. Someone else that has walked this planet has been in that same situation. We all go through trauma. We all go through disappointments and
Yes, we do.
hurts and abuse. We can't get out of life without
Right.
those things. So there, even though you may feel like you're the only one, trust and believe there's someone else who has been through your situation who can help to guide you and pull you out of it. There's support groups available,
Yes.
you know.
That's very important. Yes, there are. I mean, support groups, there's a lot of them out there. So my listeners, like, you can always Google them. And there's a lot of hotlines that will pop up on your Google. Reach out to those people. Don't be ashamed, because this is they feel. This is what I call their what's the word I'm looking for?
Feel
Their
the expertise.
yeah, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes, yes. And they calling, and then sometimes it's their calling through the
Right.
universe. They was called to help. They was called to reach out and just
Right.
teach and to lend a helping hand.
Right.
And that's very
And
important.
please don't feel like a
So
burden. You are not a burden. You are a blessing.
yes, yes, absolutely. I agree. And I say when people go through depression, I think even listening to some tranquility music or any type of music that has a beautiful balance to it, right? Softly spoken,
Absolutely.
a good music that could be tranquility. Whether you listen to rainfall, whether you listen to like love
Mm-hmm.
ballads, R&B, something that has a great deep message in it that can inspire you, spiritual music, something that's with rhythm that will lift your spirits up. Like I said earlier, meditation,
Mm-hmm.
sitting down, burn a candle, have some nice love music on, some nice smooth jazz
Mm-hmm.
or anything to help ease your mind to get rid of the toxins that you probably that's
Right.
plaguing you. Get rid of that. That will help. Great music will help. Great music
It
is
is.
therapeutic.
It definitely is.
So
And look, I'm going to put myself
yes,
out there,
yes.
and people may think I'm silly or crazy, but that's okay. You do what you need to do to get through to the next day. I hug trees and I give the tree all my negative energy, my
Beautiful.
negative thoughts, and it makes me feel better. So,
But that's
yeah, it
natural.
is. It absolutely is.
And that's speaking through the
Mm-hmm.
universe. I mean, through those roots and on vibration brings out a spiritual vibration and positive energy, and your frequency it will lift you up. No, that's not crazy. Softly spoken. I think that's very interesting. So have you experienced that before? With far as like more than once, like far as hugging on this tree and meditating near a
Mm-hmm.
tree, or
Absolutely. Walk barefoot so that the earth grounds you. I
Beautiful.
want people to realize that if the thought comes into your mind, it doesn't matter whether anybody else thinks that you're ridiculous or silly. You have to do what you need to do for you to heal you. It's not about anybody else.
That's
So if your spirit is telling you to go run outside, take all your clothes off, don't get locked up and hug a tree, then do it.
right. That's right. That's right. You heard it from Softly Spoken. You heard it from Softly Spoken. She's giving you that great wisdom. That's the ancestors wrapped around her,
Mm,
giving through the universe. That's
amen to that.
that's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Yes, yes. So, and I think that to my listeners, where I think what you should do tonight before you go to bed, write things down. Write the goals that you want to do when you're dealing with depression. And if you're dealing with depression, you know a friend or someone that's dealing with that, write some stuff down and share make sure you share this episode 4, this session 4 too, when it's all said and done, giving some great inspiration to our
Mhm.
listeners. And what you do is write something down that you want to change, what you want to be changed moving forward in your life, whether it's getting rid of drinking, whether it's getting rid of smoking, whether it's getting rid of just being negative, and just constantly having anger in your heart.
Mhm.
Write these things down. Write these things down and work through that and say, you know what, I'm tired of living this way. I want to be able to travel more. I want to be able to go to the park. I want to be able to be around great people. Surround yourself with a positive circle. I'm tired of the same lifestyle. And when you make a change, y'all guys will see that it will prosper like a flower. You will bloom like a
Right.
flower.
Mhm.
And what you think about that, Softly Spoken? You think that that's a great steps on, maybe if you write stuff down and kind of like, okay, write something in your daily
Right.
planner every day.
Journaling helps us to see our journey. So when we journal, let's say you go back a year later, you can see how far you've come. And we all need those pats on the back. So give yourself a pat on the back and say, hey, you know what? I'm not there anymore. You did a great job. You are phenomenal. Be your cheerleader. And YouTube has 1,000 meditation musics to overcome depression, to balance your chakras. It's all there free of charge. Tap into that. The thing that I say, try as many different things as you can. And one thing might not work for you. And what works for me and what works for you, Dupree, is going to be different than what works for somebody else. Just keep trying and don't give up. Remember, depression is temporary. It is not your whole entire life.
Please tell me that again,
That
Softly
depression is
Spoken.
temporary, is not your whole entire life.
That's well said. Y'all guys hear that? That's very important. It's just temporarily. It's not
Mm-hmm.
everlasting. You know, we can break that chain, we break that cycle, you know? And when you fall, you just get
Yes,
back up. And you let nobody bring you down. You just keep fighting and stay around positive people and know that you are somebody special. That God's given everybody a hidden
right.
talent that you have to bring out. Everybody has a hidden talent. Some discover it and some just don't. But God gives everybody a hidden
Absolutely.
talent.
Absolutely. And
Let me say, God gives everyone a talent, not a hidden talent. God gives everyone a talent. Let me correct
yeah, we just
myself.
have to search to
God
find it.
gives
That's all.
everybody. Yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I definitely
Yeah.
agree with that. And so we touched on people that deals with so many different levels of depression. What works for you, medication. seeing a therapist, a good therapist, and it doesn't matter if even if you want a therapist, if you want a woman therapist or a male therapist, that's your
Right.
prerogative. You have every right to pick a therapist that you'll feel comfortable
Absolutely.
with because I mean they are a stranger to you. You don't know who they are until you feel comfortable
Mm-hmm.
with that therapist. You know, so you have to open yourself up and speak to the therapist and we want to do our best on therapy lounge to give y'all some therapeutic treatment, therapeutic solutions, therapeutic remedies too
Absolutely.
as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we give y'all guys great healthy topics and great healthy solutions and any questions you may have, you can always leave a comment on social therapy IG on Instagram. Softly, I'm letting softly spoken know. I'm on Instagram, social therapy IG, and also on Twitter, number one. So we will start having our listeners leave comments. We would love for y'all guys to leave comments and let us know what you was thinking about the show. Let us know that what may be bothering you or what was the depression you was dealing with, and we'll definitely do our best to make sure we answer whatever the problems you may have. But this show is definitely therapy lounges for the voiceless. We definitely want to be able to uplift people, and we definitely want to every Monday give you great topics to um
Right.
to listen to, and hopefully we can definitely give y'all guys
Mhm.
solution to the problems and stuff like
Right.
that.
So, in
So
essence,
yeah, so
let us know
yeah,
how
so
we can support you. You know. Mhm.
absolutely. That is so true. That is so true. And let me tell you something. I'm honored for you, softly spoken, for this
Mhm.
show tonight. I think we helped our listeners tonight, and we definitely it's an honor. It's an honor to have
It's
you
an
with
honor to
me.
be here.
This we definitely absolutely. So anything you want to leave the listeners before we get
Not real.
off?
Just, sometimes if you have a friend that's going through a depression, they might not necessarily reach out to you. Pay attention to the people that's in your court. Sometimes they might not need you to talk to them. They might just need a hug and for you to say, I got you. Just hold their hand. Sometimes they just need you to show up. So pay attention to the people around you and just, if you love them and you're there for them, show up for them.
Well said, beautiful said. Now I want to leave y'all listeners with this from author Alicia Hartwell.
Mm,
Forgive yourself. You have done plenty of things wrong. Some of the things you were intentional, some things were even intentional. Take comfort in the fact that everyone you know had done the same. You have lived and learned. It's time to let it go and to let yourself off the hook. You're probably pretty compassionate with at least some of the people in your life, but at least as compassionate with yourself. Forgive yourself and move on. You have a great life to live. That's from Alicia Hartwell. She has a book on Amazon. She's the Amazon bestseller. It's called The Four Cycles. You can pick that book up, The Four Cycles from author Alicia Hartwell. And she's on Amazon. So you can type that in. You can type that in, everyone. Four Cycles from author Alicia Hartwell. It's a guide to help you learn the cycles of love, change patterns, and break the
mm,
generational
that's
curse.
beautiful.
Yes, forgive yourselves,
Beautiful.
everyone. So then I want to leave y'all guys with that tonight. Make sure you forgive yourselves. Don't beat yourself up. If you fall, get back up. Never let your heart be troubled. Just stay strong and stay with the faith. Keep the Most High first. Meditate. Whoever you worship, there's only one Most High. So we want to leave y'all guys with. I'm so honored and I'm thankful that we had this discussion tonight. I want to make sure y'all guys make sure y'all set your appointment next week at 10 p.m. on Therapy Lounge with DuPreeShamir and my new co-host,
Softly
Softly
spoken and
Spoken.
DuPreeShamir. Yes, again, long time
Yeah,
coming. Over 10 years.
yes,
Hmm.
over 10 years. Yes, yes. So y'all make sure y'all follow us on Social Therapy IG on Instagram, and also follow us at Social Therapy the number one on Twitter. I hope y'all guys have a nice night.
Yeah.
Softly spoken.
Same to
You
you.
have a great night, and we will be back next Monday at 10 p.m. for another therapeutic session. And make sure y'all guys set your appointment.
Make
Make
sure
sure
you
y'all guys be
comment.
on time.
Comment.
Until then, yeah, make sure you comment. Absolutely. And we want y'all to keep breathe social therapy into your life. And also make sure you follow us on Social Therapy Mag on YouTube. Subscribe to Social Therapy Mag on YouTube. We have more content coming soon, and our website will be coming soon. And also, we want to let y'all guys know that we on Anchor. We also gonna be on Spotify. We on Apple Music, Google Play. We on all the platforms. So make sure y'all guys support, and also you can also donate when you listen to this podcast. You can also make a donation each month. You can be a member each month. Every bit helps. This will help build our show up, and down the line we would love to be doing
Yes.
some live events. So we'll probably coming to a city near you or the tri-state area. So we definitely look forward to coming and making sure we give y'all great therapy next Monday.